This week is what we're going to call Mother's Day week. Each day, we're going to talk about a different mother and the difference that they make and the difference they made. And so I thought, even though it may not necessarily be the greatest thing to do, I thought, who in the Bible would not necessarily be a candidate for the greatest mother of the year? Who in the Word of the Lord might give us some insight into maybe a mother that not necessarily one we'd like to be like? What's interesting is in 1 Kings chapter 3, verse number 16, it talks about two women in the same house. And these women are not women of great character resources. They're not the kind of folks that you would want to be necessarily even in your family. But the Bible talks about these two women, and they both had babies, and they had the babies at the same time. And so after babies are 3 days old, the one lady in the middle of the night rolls over on her baby, and the baby dies. And so her character wasn't the greatest either. So she takes the dead baby in the middle of the night and puts it on the bed of the woman who had the live baby. She takes the live baby and takes it to her bed. And in this story, it talks about how these two women went to the king, who was Solomon, new King Solomon, and the one lady said, my baby in the middle of the night was taken by this woman, and she gave me her dead baby. And the other lady said, no, that's not true. That's not how that happened at all. What happened was that she rolled over on her baby, and it died. And so Solomon does something. He does something really unusual, but he said to bring a guard. And he brought the guard. When he brought the guard, he gets ready to use his wisdom, and he takes the baby, holds the baby up, and decides he's going to just split the baby down the middle and give the baby one part to one part and one part to the other mother. So two mothers. And so that's where they are at this time. And the king said, bring a sword. So he brought a sword. And the woman whose son was alive was filled with compassion for her son and said to the king, please, my lord, give the living baby, don't kill him. But the other said, neither should I have it, cut the baby in half. And the king said immediately, there's the mother, the one that's unwilling to allow her child to die without fighting some kind of a fight. And King Solomon immediately gave the baby to the mother who was unwilling to see the baby die. So the other mother was definitely not the candidate for Mother of the Year. She didn't seem to have a comprehension or understanding that life is important. And that a baby's life, even at 3 days of age, 3 days old, is extremely important. I thought about that in today's society, and it made me aware of a lady who you may not know her name, but her name is Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger is definitely an individual that should be studied a little bit. And I'd recommend you study this woman a little bit. She created an organization known as the American Birth Control League. Later on, she changed that to what is now known as Planned Parenthood. American Birth Control League was more of an honest name than Planned Parenthood is. Planned Parenthood is not a place for Planned Parenting. It is actually a place where that over 60 million babies in America have been aborted. Margaret Sanger was an individual who felt like that only certain kinds of people should have children. Margaret Sanger actually had two sons. One was a surgeon, one was a lawyer. And so she felt like that only certain people of certain levels should have children. So what Margaret Sanger did was she put Planned Parenthood or American Birth Control Leagues in lower income places with an all-out effort to cause abortion to take place where people didn't have the money or the wherewithal or any of the things that they needed, because she felt like that they couldn't be good parents. What a horrible situation to find yourself in. Someone encouraging you to take the baby that's your baby and cause that baby to be sacrificed. Can I tell you, today we need to understand that every mother makes a difference. There was a great basketball player named Isaiah Thomas a number of years ago. Isaiah Thomas told this story about his neighborhood and the place that he lived. And one day Isaiah Thomas was walking down the road with a group of guys that were not really good guys, kind of gang members. And Isaiah Thomas's mother invited them to her house. Isaiah Thomas's mother immediately walked into the bedroom, got a weapon, and said, "You ever around my son again, you will never live to tell it." In other words, she's saying, this is my boy, this is my son, I'll make a difference. Today, mothers, you're the difference maker. Tomorrow we'll talk about a different mother. Thank you.